the kind of questions I might be asking in the exam, but I might. So there are a few questions available in Moodle. I'll just paste the link here in the chat. So log into Moodle and try to see if you are able to access the quiz. The quiz is going to open in a couple of minutes at 17:05. And there are 5 questions in this, and you have 15 minutes to solve the quiz. The questions are only related to OpenACC and numerical methods, and hopefully that will give you some idea. Some of these are also from our lectures that we have studied. And yeah, and as you go along, you can ask some questions, and we'll discuss about pros and cons of having the quiz on Moodle. Some of the questions might have to be evaluated manually and so on. So don't worry about the evaluation part. If your question is correct, your answer is correct, then you will get marks, right? So I'll have to still go through the answers, at least most of the answers manually. There are some answers where Moodle will help me, which are more like multiple choice, etc. But wherever there are fill in the blanks or you have to write some piece of code, all of that I'll have to, or we will have to manually evaluate. Yeah, so that is what I wanted to say about this mock quiz that we are going to have in the tutorial today. Anybody who is unable to access this quiz? Okay, so let me see. Okay, so it's going to open in a minute or so. Meanwhile, if there are any questions, you can ask. Okay, Venu is asking, can we type the written questions instead of writing on paper and taking picture? Or if exam is on Moodle. So if the exam is on Moodle, you will give the answers directly on Moodle. You don't have to worry about the paper as of now, unless you have some issue with respect to the connectivity and so on. So you should not require by default to even write on paper, or you can type it. That is also not a problem, not an issue. So in case you are facing any trouble, you anticipate that there might be some issue with respect to connectivity and so on. Although I would recommend that you work it out on Moodle, but if you want to just copy the questions to your, let's say, Word document, put your answers there and send it, that is also okay with me. Okay, I hope the quiz is open now. Yeah. So you have 15 minutes. Try to answer as many questions as possible. Let's see, we'll discuss that. And if there are any questions, I'm here only, so feel free to discuss. So it's not real quiz, it's a mock quiz, but still do take it as seriously as you can. Okay. So I hope the quiz is over for everyone. And so any suggestions, any concerns, questions? Is this okay, or you would prefer handwritten quiz? Anything? Okay, Sanket says this is okay with an exclamation mark.
Yes, I think that's okay.
Okay, sure.
So if we give by chance 2 extra white spaces, then we'll just take that into account.
Yeah, so this will not take it into account, and I'll have to go through all of the answers manually. Where there are multiple choice questions, that part is probably okay. But whenever there are fill in the blank, something you have to enter, then you write whatever way you want. If your answer is correct, you will get marks, right? So we'll release both the answers to the questions as well as your marks, so that you will be able to check if it is correct. If there is spacing, etc., you can just get back to us, we'll correct that, no problem. Anyway, we have to go through most of the questions manually, most of the answers manually. Okay, so now logistics seem to be permitting me to go through this. Yes, so there is a possibility that one might lose connection, etc. I mean, if you lose connection in between, that is okay. You can always go back and reattempt. But in case you do not have connection for the whole time, that can be an issue. But one thing which I would suggest is that if initially you get uh, maybe what I'll do is probably okay, if you have to somehow miss the quiz for internet issues, etc., we'll have to worry about that later. But if otherwise, if you are available, then we'll just go ahead with it. Unfortunately, we won't be able to keep it for long. Like we'll most probably keep it for 1 hour, like quiz 1 and quiz 2, maybe 50 minutes or so. And hopefully that time will be sufficient for you to try out different things, etc. Okay, so that's about the logistics. If I look at the overall average, right? I don't know if you guys have yet started studying or not. But this mock quiz was for 10 marks. What do you think will be the average? Any guesses? Okay. Yeah, Samir says 5. Any other? Okay. Others don't want to guess. Okay, fine. So the current average that Moodle shows me is 3.4, but that will increase because some of you might not have followed exact spacing that I have given as the correct answer. So this is likely to be what Samir has suggested. It's probably going to be around 5 or so. Venu's question is, how are the MCQs with multiple answers graded? That's a good question. Currently, we have, let's say, if I give you, let's say 5 options, right? And multiple answers might be true. In such cases, if you uh, check exactly the correct answers, you will get 100% marks, whatever, 2 marks or something. But every wrong answer that gets marked will have around negative half as the marking, and which essentially means that, well, not 5 but maybe more. So out of 5 answers, if 2 answers are correct and 3 answers are wrong, if you mark all the answers, your total score should get negative, right? So that is what I'll ensure. And that means that in this case, if you mark all the answers, then you will get whatever, minus 0.5 or something. Minus 0.5. Assuming that you get 1 for this, so 2 minus, yeah, if it is a 2-mark question, then I'll have to increase the negative marking for each wrong answer, right? So the important thing to note here is that you should mark only the correct answers. Based on the number of negative answers, the marks will be distributed such that the total gets negative, right? So you should be careful about that part. So that is how the negative marks will be assigned. Josh is asking, if we mark some but not all correct, then you will get the partial credit for only the correct marks. So if there are 2 correct and total marks is 2 and you mark only 1, which is correct, then you will get 1 mark. Any other concerns, questions here? Okay, I'll quickly go through. Okay. Joel is asking, can you enable review of this mock quiz? Yes, I'll do that after our tutorial, so that you'll be able to go through both the questions as well as the answers. But I disabled that because I wanted to go through the questions once. So let me present my screen. All right, so I hope the first so add appropriate clause to print hello 10 times. So you can have, so what can you add here? What could be the different answers? So as you can see, there are multiple answers possible, and therefore I cannot give just one correct answer. I'll definitely give some correct answer, but there could be other correct answers which have to be graded manually. So those we will do, don't worry about that. So what are the answers possible here?
NumGang 10 we can write.
Sure. So as Gaurav and Venu have suggested, we can write numgangs 10. You could as well write numworkers 10. That should also work out, right? So there are multiple possibilities here, or you can have possibly a combination of numgangs and maybe numvectors and so on. All right. So that part is okay. Let's come to the question number 2. So this code is very similar to what we have discussed in class, where there are 2 thread blocks, and is going to be leading to 2 threads essentially, but with an async. And this print 1 is going to get printed by 2, just that there is no barrier because of this async before this printf. Right, and as far as this printf is concerned, that is going to be printed by the host, whereas this part, this print 1, is going to be printed by the device, that is the GPU. And again, there is 3 which is going to get printed by the GPU. Just that there is no async here, so there is going to be a barrier, but that is not going to cause any trouble as such. So which of these statements is going to be correct? How about A? Is this correct? 2 may be printed before 3. Is it possible? Okay. Joel, Venu, Venkata Sai, Shrikant, Rudransh, Sanket, all of them are saying yes. 2 can be printed before 3. In fact, yeah, that is the only thing we can say. We cannot say that. So essentially what's happening is, as far as 1 and 3 are concerned, those are going to be printed by the same device. So the way it gets implemented, 1 will always be followed by, 3 will not get printed before 1. But as far as 2 is concerned, since that is a separate device and there is no barrier between the 1 printing and 2, so 2 can get, so 1 and 3 are going to be printed in order, and 2 can appear anywhere at these 3 locations, right? But only after 2 is printed, then 3 is going to get printed. Yeah, so there is a dependence from 2 to 3 also, right? So there is dependence from 1 to 3, and then there is dependence from 2 to 3, right? So just that 1 and 2 can get printed in it. Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, in this case, it's like maybe. So it cannot be maybe. It will always be that the 3 will print after 2, because the num gangs are very less. So the threads will be lesser. If we say there are million threads, then it may happen that in that situation that 2 may be jiggle up with the 3. But if there are num gangs are less, then it will be always that 2 will print before 3.
No. In fact, yeah. So maybe print. Okay. So whenever there is a maybe, it would mean that whether this is possible, right? So that is what is the meaning that we'll take for this. But you are right that in this case, it will happen that 2 is always going to get printed before 3, because that host will complete that part and then only trigger the launching of the GPU kernel, which will print 3. So 2 is always going to get, yeah. So as Krishna Vamsi has also written, 2 will always get printed before 3. So whether it is possible that 2 will get printed before 3, we'll say yes. Right?
So, but it is wrong, right? I mean, it should be will be, right? Maybe is a wrong assumption.
Whether to consider maybe as right or wrong. Whether to
So
consider
like
maybe.
you mentioned in the last one, so 3 is always like that.
Okay. Okay, I'll take your word for this, that no, actually it doesn't make sense, right? So 2 is okay. I'll leave that discussion for a later time. But yeah, okay. Let's come to the second option. 1 may be printed after 2. Is that possible?
Yeah, true.
Okay, so that seems to be yeah, as Venu and Joel are discussing. So if we get into discrete maths, logic, etc., then I'll probably have to argue from that perspective that maybe is included when we say always true. But anyway, I'll keep that aside. What I'll do is, instead, when I create the final quiz, we'll have to make sure that the statements are unambiguous. Okay, 3 may be printed between the 2 ones. Is that possible?
No, there is a barrier between the two.
Yes. So so there is this async is with respect to 1 and 2. It's not between 1 and 3, and therefore 3 is always going to follow both the ones. Right? 2 may be printed after 3. Well, that is also not possible. There is always, sorry, 3 is always printed after 1. That is also not true. Right? So we'll have to answer this accordingly. Any questions on this part? Okay, there are answers here. Okay, good. Any questions, concerns apart from that maybe clause?
So last one is correct, sir, no?
3 is always printed after 1. Right. 3 is always printed after 1. Yeah, that is correct. Yes. Okay, when he is asking if there was async on second parallel section, then what about option D? Okay, so for the printing of 3, if there is async, then what can we say about 3 is always printed after, 2 may be printed after 3. What is the suggestion? Any suggestions on from people?
Sir, I think still the host will print first.
Okay. So Gaurav says that it will still print 2 before both the 3s. Any other suggestions? Any plus ones to Gaurav? Okay. Sai Shrikant, Nivedita. Okay, Venu says if the host is going to call the kernel only after printing 2, then I think it's still print 2 first. Yes. So that async will only make sure that the later printfs from the host will interfere. Yeah, so Ojas, Gokul, all of you seem to be on the same lines. Yeah. All right. Any other concerns about question 2? Krishna Ram Satya is asking, is printf printed on the CPU? Okay. Printf2, is it happening on the CPU? Yes, it is by default going to happen on the CPU because it is not inside any pragma, so it is like a sequential code by default running on the CPU. Any other concerns? Okay. Okay, so 2 can be printed after 3. Yeah, so in this case it won't happen because the GPU kernel is going to get launched only after that. So yeah, that is correct that GPU is running asynchronously with CPU, but I think there are 2 different parts. One is the ACC parallel and the another is ACC kernels. Right, so I think in one case you might have this asynchronous behavior between the host and the device. In the other case, there is going to be by default synchronous behavior. Any other concerns? Okay. So we will go to the third question. Fill in the blanks in the following program fragment for optimizing CPU-GPU communication and to improve parallelism. Right. So here we okay. I think that underscore. Okay, this didn't appear properly. I wanted to give 2. So one is for the ACC data something, and the another was ACC Pragma ACC parallel related. But I think it took only the first one. I should have looked it up. Sorry about this overlook. Okay, so okay, there is a question here. Prashant says, even if async is not present in the first pragma, the results will be the same. No. Then 2 can get 2 will get printed only after the 2 ones. Because of the async, 1 and 2 can get intermixed. Joel is asking, without async, following lines in serial part will get executed only after finishing parallel part fully. Yes, that is correct. In this code, when you have these parallel loops, if I think you there are 2 parts. There are ways in which the CPU GPU will occur in asynchronous mode when you leave it to the compiler, in which case the kernel's clause is getting used. In this case, there is no kernel's clause. It's all sequential code, and then we have added pragmas at appropriate loops, and therefore only those parts are going to get converted into some sort of a function or a kernel which is going to be executed on the GPU. Otherwise, the rest of the code is going to be executed sequentially only. Right? So these 2 are 2 different things. Request you to go through that part of the lecture a little more carefully. Maybe I have not explained it properly, but yeah. Okay, so question 3. Okay, so what is going to be the answer for question number 3, at least for the data clause? What are the clauses that we can add here? Okay.
Present AB.
Sorry, Gaurav, you said something?
Present AB.
Okay. Okay. Okay, Joel, Rudransh, Nivedita, Venu. All of them have written creation and then the copying out. Okay. Sai Shrikant is saying +1. Joel. Joel is saying, do we need to specify size in data class? Okay. So in this case, whether you specify or not, the compiler will be able to figure out. So even if you write just create AB, that is going to be sufficient, or the way Venu has written create A0 and etc. All of that can also be written. Either way, it should be okay, right? So there is also one example where I'll have to go through it manually because I cannot specify one particular answer. Although there are regular expressions that we can provide in the Moodle answers. But anyway, don't worry about that. If your answer is correct, we will give you marks. Okay, so in this case, the compiler will be able to figure out because that type information is right here. But if this would have been in another function or so, it's not always clear whether compiler will be able to figure out. So from a safety perspective, make sure that you are able to give these, let's say, whatever the way Venu has written. So what we will go by is whatever the compiler gives, right? It's not my answer or your answer or Venu's answer. Whatever compiler says, that we will consider as the answer. Because if you don't specify inside a function, for example, you are specifying this create clause or copy clause, and it's not able to figure out, it might just start from 0:1. Right? So it might just copy one element, not n elements of that. So therefore, inside functions, you should be careful about this. All right. Yeah, so that seems to be okay. Why create? Gaurav, just to answer your question, we should not use present clause here because it is not already present on the GPU. Right? We have just declared it on the CPU here, and then it is not yet created on the GPU at all. So we should create it. We should not call it present. In fact, if you write present, you might get an error either by the compiler or at runtime, depending upon who is able to figure it out, that it is not already present on the GPU. Right? So create is what we will have to do. So we'll have to create it on the GPU, but we don't need to copy in because we have not yet populated the A matrix. So we just need to do a create. And then when A gets populated by the numerical method, then we need to copy back A to the CPU for printing it on the CPU. So therefore, copy out is required. So those are two main things that I also had in mind. But if there are any other ways in which we can improve this data clause, sure, Guru. Yeah. Any other suggestions for the data clause? Okay. Are there, okay, then what are the suggestions for the pragma SEC, that is this line? Okay, the parallel loop, present B. Okay. Loop, parallel loop, present B, copy out B, loop also. Okay. Okay, so there are two important things here. One is parallel loop. So that seems to be all right, that we need to have parallel loop. So that all of you agree. Let me take Bhimanyu's suggestion. Do we need copy out of B? So that's an interesting question. So I had some discussion with Abhimanyu in a separate email, and that's probably the reason why he's suggesting. So Abhimanyu, do you want to explain why you might think about copy out of B might be required there?
So what I was thinking is, when I wrote my code, I didn't create functions. I just wrote it one after the other. And when I used to perform operations, I used to get a zero matrix back again for some reason. And that's why I feel that we need to copy out whatever happens in the loop. And then like we need to copy it in back again, I think, every single time we do it.
Okay. So what Abhimanyu is suggesting is that if this B that is being used inside the numerical method, if this is being used on the GPU, right, then it is okay. But if it is getting used from the CPU, then you have to be a little more careful, in the sense that if this B is being passed, this function numerical method is getting called from the CPU side, then this B of II is going to get copied back from GPU to CPU and then passed as a parameter, right? So that is probably going to happen automatically, and otherwise you can specify it as part of copy out. So either way it is going to happen, because that numerical method is going to get called from the CPU, right? Within that numerical method we'll have other pragmas and so on. So that copy out is definitely going to be there. The issue that happens is when you have some function, for example, numerical method, if it is using, let's say, A, right, in this case. So B is not really going to be a problem. But as far as A is concerned, this A is going to be the CPU copy which is going to get sent. And if that CPU copy is not synced with whatever is happening on the GPU because of your data clause here, then you are in trouble, right? Here for B we have not specified the data clause. Well, we have specified create clause for A and B, so that should be okay. But if there is a CPU related function here which is making use of something which is already there on the GPU, and compiler is not able to figure out for some reason that it needs to be copied back, then it can cause an issue, right? So you be careful in your assignment also, the way Abhimanyu probably faced that issue, that if you are getting all zero values inside a matrix, or most of the values 0 and 1 of values as garbage, etc., then that does mean that there is an automatic copying happening. Look at what the compiler is giving as output, as well as what the profiling is giving as output, and that will convey to you. Joel is asking, won't pragma data part fully get executed on GPU? No, that need not be the case. That need not be the case. Will it? Oh, I see. Will that fully get executed on the GPU? That's a good question. If you have LCC data parallel, will LCC data clause, will it get fully executed on the GPU? I am not sure. Yeah. As far as parallel clause is concerned, that is definitely going to happen on the GPU. But data clause, I don't think so. Anybody wants to confirm whether whole data part is going to be done on the GPU? I don't think so, but yeah, maybe you guys have tried it. I think it should get. Sai Shrikant is saying that it should happen completely on GPU. I am not very sure. I think this needs to be tried. Yeah, I somehow feel that it might not happen completely on the GPU. You will have to specify the clauses such that it's a structure. Yes, but I think it doesn't say anything about the execution. It just says about the data, is my understanding, but we'll confirm. We'll have to confirm this by running the code. Okay. So So that part seems to be, there was something, present clause. So present of B is something which is anyway again dictated by the data clause, and therefore we won't have to specify as such present, but even if you specify, it's not going to hurt. Syed Arshad is saying, I think unless an SSD parallel serial kernels clause is specified within the data section, other statements are executed by CPU. Yeah, that's what I also understand, but maybe I'm missing something. All right, so we'll go to fourth question. Sorry, it's already time, so in case you have other engagements, please feel free to log out. I'll just finish discussion of these two and we'll stop here. For computing C equal to A plus B, again, this is going to be very similar. So what will be the optimized data clause? Right. So here also we can use create AB and copy out of C, and you can specify 0:n, or you need not specify. Either way is okay here as far as this question is concerned. No. Abhimanyu,
here,
not present AB. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Go ahead.
Sir, here you have mentioned that we have populated it on CPU, so we need to copy in it, not create.
A and B are populated on, oh, right, you are right. So if it is populated on the CPU, then we need to use copy in rather than create. You are right. So we should neither use create nor use, well, you can use create actually, but copy in is definitely going to be required. You can use copy in as well as create, but copy in is definitely going to be required. Present clause is not correct. Because otherwise you will not copy it, right? So copy in of AB and copy out of C is going to be the correct answer. Yeah, that seems to be correct. Any other concerns here?
Sir, Venu has mentioned create C. So is it necessary to do that?
Again, the copy out is going to make sure that it is going to get, well, create C, is that required? You can specify, I mean, that will be the most appropriate way to specify because we are looking at full specification. So create C is okay, but if you don't specify, still it is going to be anyway get created. So either way it should be all right. So create C is also okay, yeah. And even if you don't specify, that is also okay. All right, we'll quickly go to question 5. Consider the following code fragment and which of the following outputs are possible for the above code. This is same as what we have discussed in the class, so I'll probably skip this, but if there are any questions, we can take those up. Okay, which of these are not possible? Let me ask that. That is probably easier to. So this is the one that probably some of you were asking, that won't the host print something before asynchronously, right? So this is what is the corresponding code where we are using kernels rather than the parallel loops. So these two are going to be different in behavior. So out of A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, which of these are not possible? E should be impossible, only D is not possible, except A and C, D, okay. D is what? First loop 0, 2, A of 0, second loop 0, 3, 1. Right. So 3, 1 is not possible, so that seems to be all right. So D should not be possible. A and C. Only A and C are possible is what you are saying, is it? Okay. So here there is asynchronous execution. So as far as 1 and 3 are concerned, those are going to be printed by the host. 2 is also printed by the host, but there is a dependence from first loop to 2. So that dependence is going to be ensured, and therefore 2 will not be printed before first loop. As far as second loop is concerned, that is again going to happen after 2. So there is this sequential dependence from first loop to 2 to second loop. And as far as 1 and 3 are concerned, those are going to happen in parallel. So then the asynchronous execution, you can think about in which way it can happen. Joel says 3 and 1 will be printed by GPU itself in this case. No, it will not be printed by GPU. So the so by SEC kernels, we are telling the compiler, go figure out which part is going to be run on CPU and which part on the GPU. Compiler says that 1 and 3 seem to be sequential, independent. So I'm going to push those to the CPU. That is, I'm not going to parallelize those. Whereas the 2 for loops are going to be printed on the GPU, and printf2 is going to have dependence from the first loop because of A of 0 writing and A of 0 reading, and therefore it will create a sequential, let's say, processing of printing of 2 on the GPU. So first loop, 2 and second loop are going to be printed by the GPU sequentially. Yes, that is correct, as Venu has also mentioned. Joel says, but if we are using parallel clause, they will be run serially by GPU. Is that correct? As pragma SEC parallel, yes, then it is correct. Then it is going to be all executed on the GPU. That is correct. That is correct. Any other concerns, questions here? Yeah. All right, so we'll stop here, and all the best with your submissions as well as the forthcoming exam. If you have any further questions, please post on Moodle. Venu has a question. What is the analog of OMP single in SEC? Okay, so definitely ACC serial exists, but that is going to be executed by sequentially. But unlike in OpenMP, where single gets executed by any of the threads, right? So that kind of analog, I don't know. Yeah, but you can add ACC serial, and that will execute that particular block sequentially. So is that going to serve your purpose, or you want exactly that within that any of the threads is going to execute? Okay, sure.
Sir,
Yeah, go ahead.
in today's Moodle quiz, so just a request, the way the questions were set today, to go to the next question, you have to click on the button called next page or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So the problem with that is that every time we want to go to a next question, the page has to reload. And many times when so many people are trying to access Moodle at the same time, Moodle starts to crash. You have to wait 2-3 minutes for the page to load properly. So I think there is an alternate way to put all the questions on one page itself, rather than having to click on next page to go to the next question. So if you can set the paper such that all the questions are on the same page, so that we only have to load it once.
Sure, I'll do that. And then we all will be on the same page. Sure, I'll do that. Thanks for that suggestion, Kishore.
But also in your explanation for the second question, where you said that 2 cannot be printed after 3, I didn't understand that. So if the GPU and CPU are running, asynchronously, that is parallelly, then it's possible that the GPU prints everything that the GPU is supposed to print before the CPU prints, right? So you can have 1, 1, 3, 3, and then you can have 2.
Yes, while that is true that in general inside kernels that is going to be what is going to be followed. As far as this part is concerned, it is always going to be that printf2 is going to get completed by the CPU. Then there will be then only the next kernel function to be running on the GPU is going to get launched. So this is not don't think about it similar to OpenMP, where you have the threads created and then they are going to get executed. So think about it as this is one block of code. Ignore async for now. This is one block of code which is going to get completely executed from host, and host is going to wait for it to finish. Only because of async it is not going to wait, and it will go ahead with the next part. So this sequential part is going to get finished by the host, and then it will go and try running the next part. Right? So this is how the sequential execution is going to happen when you have these concatenated or multiple ACC parallel loops, but or parallel blocks. But if you have kernels, then the compiler is going to look at the dependencies, etc.
So even theoretically, it's not possible for 2 to get printed after 3.
No. It will not print. It will not print.
Okay.
Yeah. Inside kernels, it is going to be possible, not in this.
Sir, so if the async clause was not there, then the CPU will wait till GPU finishes 1.
Yes, that is correct. So the output is going to be deterministically 1, 1, followed by 2, followed by 3, 3.
3, 3.
Right. Just that those 1s and 3s might get intermixed, but yeah.
Okay, sir.
Any other? Okay, there is Venu is asking ACC parallel, ACC loop for, ACC serial, ACC loop for. When I tried compiling this, got an error saying unexpected flow graph. Okay. Yeah, maybe Venu, you could possibly try sending that code. I'll try to figure out if there is any way we can have some sort of OMP single type of thing. Feel free to send that code. I'll take a look. Joel says 1s and 3 also will get mixed up in case of kernel. If this would have been ACC kernel, then 1s and 3s will get mixed up. No, that will not happen. Even though this is async, usually it goes into the same device, and therefore there is by default there is sequentiality amongst the two parallel parts. So that will also not happen. Gaurav says without async 1s and 3s cannot get mixed because of the barrier. No. Yes, without async they are not going to get printed, but what Joel is saying is that if you have async, then will it inside the kernel's clause, will it be the case that 1s and 3s will get mixed up? No, that will not happen, because essentially these two are going to get converted into kernels, these loops, and those kernels are going to get executed sequentially by the GPU. Sequentially meaning one after the other. But one kernel is going to get executed completely. Yeah, this goes into little implementation detail of how kernels are executed on the GPU, but yeah, that is what is going to happen. So Aqua job execution is taking too long is what Varshit says. Are others also finding it a problem in the GPU queue? Oh man. How long is it taking? Okay, suddenly there are lots of yeses. How long? Takes 1 or 2 hours. I see. Maybe all of you are trying together. That's the reason you are affecting each other's jobs. Jash is asking, can we use TA multi-core for our assignment? No. It should be running on the GPU, right? This will only run it on the CPU. If you want to increase parallelism and run it on both, that is okay. But let it run at least some part on the GPU. Also, if we have two kernels, will they be launched simultaneously on same device? Yeah, that is the implementation part I was coming to. You got it right, that by default, they are going to get executed sequentially. That is the reason why the kernels are going to be executed one after the other and not simultaneously. There are ways in CUDA you can launch it. I think there are ways in which in OpenACC also this is possible, but I have not studied that yet. Yeah, but by default, whatever we have studied, the kernels are going to be executed sequentially. I mean, one after the other. Any other concerns?
Sir, when you were discussing the properties of parallel, you said that you can only have one if, right?
Okay.
But is it possible to have nested ifs? Like you have one outer pragma with an if, and
Yes.
then one of the inner pragmas can also have an if.
Yes, yes, I think that is possible. That is possible.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other?
Sir, in the kernel case, each line is executed on GPU as a separate kernel. As in the kernel.
No. So, for example, in this case, not every line is going to be executed on the GPU. Right? Printf 1 is going to happen on the CPU. Printf 3 is going to happen on the CPU. Everything in the middle is going to be executed on the GPU. The for loop is going to be executed by default on the GPU because, well, it's a for loop and it's able to parallelize it. This printf has a dependence from the A of 0 being written in the GPU and A of 0 being read in this printf, and therefore the compiler is going to say that I'm going to push this as a serial statement which can be executed directly by the GPU, but as a single statement. So this part is going to be printed by the GPU. Only 1 and 3 are going to be printed by the CPU.
Sir, and if I replace kernel with parallel, then all the things will run on the GPU.
Yes, yes, that is correct. If it is parallel, then everything is going to run on the GPU. Yes, correct. Joel is saying instead Aqua job submission, can we run the assignment questions directly on Aqua node? No, the login node does not have GPUs, and therefore you won't be able to get the answer correctly. Yeah, Venu is comparison generates Tesla, but I don't think it's running on GPU. Yeah, it doesn't have a GPU attached to that. Login node doesn't have it. Yeah. Yeah. So don't run it on the Aqua node. If the my team figures out that you are running long jobs on the login node, you will get debarred from the Aqua cluster for some days. So don't run heavy things on the login node. Use the job submission skill.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, go.
Sir, if we are not, suppose we have defined a matrix A, and if we are not initializing it in the CPU, and we want to use it in the GPU, then in that case, if we can use, instead of using create, can we use copy in also?
You can use copy in, but that will be unoptimized. So copy in is going to copy the current contents of, so it is going to create as well as copy from CPU to GPU, but it is uninitialized. So therefore that copy is extra. It is not optimized. So your code will work.
Same is for copy out and create.
Perfect. Perfect. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
No, copy out and create will be little different, because copy out you are going to do because you are going to get the return matrix back, and to write to the matrix anyway the create is going to be required. So there it's not going to cause any issue even if you just use both create and copy out. But here copy in should not be used because you have not populated it on the CPU. Only when you have populated on the CPU you should use copy in. If you have not populated and populating it in parallel, then you should use create.
Okay, but copy out is sufficient for create also.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, create anyway is going to happen without copy out also, because copy out is going to be coming into picture at the end of the block. But even if you don't specify copy out, it is automatically going to get created when you have that statement, let's say C equal to A plus B. So create is anyway going to happen.
Okay, thank you, sir.
No problem. Yeah, you won't get profiler output because it is not running on the GPU on the Aqua node. If it's taking only seconds, Joel, most probably it is running on the CPU. Venkatratna says, could you please let us review the quiz answers now? I'll enable that within some time after this. And can we get some time for submitting the project report alone? And will the grading be absolute or relative? So I think Kameshwar, I'll need your help here for the second and third questions.
Which one? So the project report. Yeah, isn't 26th already very late? I mean, it will be nice if we can submit by 26th or whatever. What is the day we have given? Which one? 26th, right? Who is this asking? Venkatratna. Yeah. 26 is fine, no? Yeah. Okay. Very good. Thank you. What is this grading be absolute or relative? This is for the what? Final grading, yeah? Yes, yeah. Final grading will be a mix of absolute and relative. So we'll see how everybody performs in the recording. Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Kameshwar.
Yeah, no problem.
Any other concerns, questions? Okay, then we'll stop here. Take care, stay safe. Bye.
Okay, bye. Thank you.
Bye.